that leaves me with just basically the last part of my presentation, and that's what can you do about it? Step one, that's part of what I did here, and that's understand that there are risks, right? Understand there are risks at all. Some people have no idea that there are even dangers. They think our government protects us. And unfortunately, that's not true. One really good example that I have of that is that the companies that produce the vast majority of our consumer products in the US, they also do business overseas. The regulations overseas are much stronger. And so those same companies produce products for those countries that are safe. They don't have these compounds in them because they can't. But here, no one is stopping them. So they give us stuff that's not as safe as the stuff they sell in other places. So that's a really good example. Those big multinational companies, they have a different version of these products that they sell elsewhere. What else? Do your due diligence. Pay attention to the things that you buy. Look at the labels, right? See if it has the components in it that you don't want. Examine the things you're using now. And if they have them in them, make some conscious choices about finding a new product to buy, because you don't want to be doing those things. That leads you into the next section. Find products and companies that you can trust to provide you with the things that are going to be safe and non-toxic. And then swap out the stuff that you know is harmful and do more research and be a smart consumer. And that's realistically a recipe to being a safer and healthier consumer of your products. And I'll just leave you guys with a couple of additional resources that you can work with. The Environmental Working Group is an activism group. They're very present on the internet, and they do a lot of stuff with legislation, trying to increase new rules and laws and get things on the books so that we are a little bit more protected by our government. They have some phenomenal resources on their website. They have a database called Skin Deep that has tens of thousands of personal care products that they analyze for ingredients and individual safety ratings based on their ingredients. They just 2 weeks ago launched a similar database that covers cleaning products. So it's a very similar concept, separate database, one for personal care, one for cleaning. The American Cancer Society, they have lots and lots of information about different things that you can do to help lower your risks of cancer, different compounds that are known to cause or affect cancer rates. The Safer Chemicals Healthy Families Organization, they're another activism group that works heavily on the Hill to try and get legislation put in place. And then this is one of my favorites. This is a sort of a fun one. This is the storyofstuff.org. And they produce a series of different videos that explains things like the consumer product cycle and explains, the environmental impact of water bottles and of cosmetics and those types of things. And it's cartoony and simple for people to understand, but it has a deep message. So that's some cool stuff for you guys. Any questions?
Yes. I'm the one that's supposed to ask that, but I'm asking the question. Does one of these sites have the list of the things that you mentioned? Because when I look at a label, I'd like to compare it to something I have, because I'll never remember all that. And you don't understand what those words mean anyway.
Right.
So can I just copy yours or go to a website and copy that down?
The one that you would probably want to look at for helping you find product choices or for safety concerns about different ingredients would be the Environmental Working Group. With their databases, they have lists of so many different products, and if you just want to say, well, tell me if this one is safe, you can look it up and it'll give you a relative.
No, not the product. The list of problem
The ingredients,
chemicals.
That's a tougher one. You have to.
Can I just copy your list then?
Sure.
Okay.
But that's by no means a complete list. That's the problem. It's just an example of, I think I put 30 of them on there, but it's not a complete list. And they come up with new ones all the time.
Take a picture with your phone of this page.
I'm perfectly willing to switch back to that page so you can copy it down. But that's just one chemical of thousands. it's tough to do it that way.
That's true. I
Yeah.
guess it is.
It's tough to do that that way. You really need to
Well,
be
what
able
I'm
to.
concerned mostly about skincare and hair care products.
Then
So
I
the
would
one-
recommend that you go to the environmental working group and just
Okay.
look at their list and see how your product rates on the list. And if it's not rating very well, find something else.
Okay.
Anything else?
Any other questions from?
Ken's got one down there.
Are you able to share your PowerPoint?
Am I able to share my PowerPoint? I have a copy of my PowerPoint. I could share it, yeah. Give me your card.
Do you upload it to SlideShare and send the link out or not?
I'm not familiar with SlideShare, but perhaps I can
SlideShare.
do that.
PowerPoints tend to be big files.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a computer here? Could you put it on?
I do not have my slide presentation with me. I've brought it in the portable, non-electronic version.
For the open air.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
That EWG group has a Hall of Shame. It's very interesting to go see. They list products by name and tell you some of the things that are in them, and it's a little scary. Don't
Okay.
hesitate to look.
One of the products that was featured on their cleaning Hall of Shame is Simple Green. That's a prime example of greenwashing.